WCBI Sunrise Saturday starts now.
All right, good morning, friends. I'm Allie Martin.
And I'm Sadie Morris.
Good to have you here. Wow, this green looks good on the air, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's good. Well, welcome to Sunrise Saturday, friends. Today is November the 16th. We are in the 30s. There are only
This
39 more days. I know, 39 more days until Christmas. It's really, really getting close. But you know what? There are some other lesser-known holidays you can celebrate today if you think that's too far away. Ready to hear about them?
I'm ready.
All right, very good. November the 16th is Guinness World Record Day. Now, is the Guinness Book of World Records still a thing?
I mean, they still have the museums. When I went to Niagara Falls when I was younger, they had a museum near Niagara Falls with like the Guinness World Record stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I think they have museums and stuff in honor of it.
Okay.
I don't know how the record stuff works.
Back in the day, before internet and all that, they used to have a book that would come out every year, a big thick book, the Guinness Book of World Records.
You could get it at the book fair, I remember. Because every year at the book fair, you'd see the new
That's right.
2010 Guinness World Record.
I've got one from 1976.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
not sure how that happened, but anyway, it's also Have a Party with Your Bear Day. Now, I had to do some research on this because when I looked at that, I thought, is this something we need to even mention? But it's teddy bear. With your teddy bear.
Okay.
Yeah, so folks think, it's your teddy bear, so that's good, so family friendly. It's also National Button Day. I guess that's for button, wear your button, whatever you support.
So.
And it's also National Fast Food Day. Do that in moderation. That's right. Well, you've learned so much already, folks, but we're just getting started. We have a fun show ahead for you. You're going to hear how to make a kid's Christmas brighter as part of the Salvation Army's Angel Tree. Also, a local church is preparing for a massive food distribution ahead of Thanksgiving, and we have highlights from the competitive recipe contest at the Vardaman Sweet Potato Festival. So much fun content, but first up, meteorologist Sadie Morris has a first look at your weekend weather outlook. Coming over here, it was sunny, but also foggy, sun and fog.
It was. We started off pretty foggy this morning. Luckily, the fog is fading away as the sun is rising. We have the sunshine against the buildings right now on our Bill Russell Ford live cam here in Columbus. That's right above the station. Bright blue sky here in Columbus, and not only in Columbus, but really across the entire region. It's really going to be a beautiful weekend, so take advantage of it. We'll be in the lower 70s. 70 is your high for your Saturday. It's going to be very nice today. Get outside and enjoy it. No, we don't have any football games that are close here locally, but definitely worth getting outside, maybe walking the dog, spending some time outside. 73 for your Sunday. Clouds are going to start to build in for our next rainmaker. Cold front out to our west, but for now here at home, we are nice and dry for your entire weekend. And temperatures right now, we started off a little bit chilly as you did step outside today. You might have needed the extra layer if you're getting an early morning coffee run or a breakfast in. We're in the 50s right now, 51 here in Columbus. That dew point's still pretty high, so that's why those patchy fog was possible, but we're pretty clear for now.
All right, thank you, Sadie. Looking at some news now, we covered this past week. A fire destroyed an old church in Monroe County, leaving the building in piles of rubble. Several different fire departments responded to the fire last Friday night. Investigators still trying to figure out how the fire started and how it spread so quickly. No injuries were reported, but Monroe County Sheriff Kevin Crook says foul play is suspected.
It didn't have power or gas hooked up to it, and so immediately we start. If there wasn't a lightning storm, happening, and then it had to be set by somebody, either accidentally or on purpose. And so that's kind of where we're at right now, trying to get to the bottom of was this an accidental thing that somebody got out of hand, they didn't mean to do it, or was this intentional? And if so, then they're looking at an arson charge.
And the sheriff says because of the limited deputies and the size of Monroe County, tips from the community will play a huge role in cases like this. An update to a story we've been following in Lowndes County. Sheriff Eddie Hawkins says arson is not suspected in a fire that left one woman dead. The fire happened November 2nd over on Hayden Lane. Investigators still trying to determine how that fire started inside a camper. 59-year-old Kimberly Kohler passed away in that blaze. Hawkins says investigators do not believe foul play is in the investigation, that investigation ongoing. Well, the time to go over your emergency plan is before an emergency comes along. Now, that attitude to preparedness was behind a drill in Chickasaw County this week. Our Charity Johnson was there and has more on their plans of action.
When a disaster strikes, it's important that all those responding are on the same page. To see what their emergency plans look like in action, Chickasaw County emergency responders partnered with Shira Richardson Memorial Nursing Home to execute a preparedness drill.
This is where you want to learn. This is where you want to see what your plans are lacking, or if you need to make changes, and just give your staff an opportunity to practice the real life event just as if it had happened.
State emergency personnel joined Chickasaw County emergency teams as they played out a scenario involving 2 large-scale disasters.
We performed a tornado watch followed by a tornado warning where we took a direct hit, which resulted in a fire. So we also had our fire team here working with us so that our staff and our residents know that we're here to protect them and what steps we need to do to ensure that they're as safe as possible.
Shelley Wood is the administrator for Shira Richardson. Wood says in an event like this, the top priority is the safety of the residents. Ophelia Smith participated in the drill.
Oh, it was quite educational. They did a very thorough job with everybody responding.
Smith says she feels more prepared.
It makes you know what to expect when something like this happens. And it's not a frightening fear. You know, this is something you have to react to in the right manner, and everybody is concerned about each other.
Health students from Okolona High School also joined in on the drill, portraying disaster victims. Telling your story in Okolona, Charity Johnson, WCBI News.
The Monroe County School District is receiving some federal money that will make a big impact on campuses. The district is receiving federal grant monies to improve security on those campuses. Now, some of those upgrades include securing access points to campuses, identifying visitors on school grounds, making classrooms and hallways more secure, and providing upgrades to security cameras. Superintendent Chad O'Brien says he hopes the improvements helps teachers, students, and parents feel better protected throughout the school year.
I think it allows teachers, I think the biggest thing this grant does for them is it allows them to focus on the main thing, which is teaching and learning. And you know, we handle the administrative end of it, but you know, I like to think in our district, we never lose sight of the fact that from 7:30 to 3 o'clock every day, we have somebody's most prized possession in our hands, and that's their children. And we do want to do everything we can, you know, to make sure we are providing for their safety and security.
And O'Brien says he hopes to have the benefits of that grant money in place by the spring of 2025. Students at Saltillo High School were able to take part in a confidence-building activity to better prepare them for job interviews. That is so important. Now, business partners from the community, they all volunteered their time to help conduct the mock job interviews for juniors and seniors in the college and career readiness classes. Career coaches have been teaching students how to prepare those resumes, fill out job applications in person and online, and also how to not only get a job interview, but also to excel. And those students did really good. I was out there for that. Well, to most, it was just another Friday, but at Aliceville Elementary School, it was a new shoe day. Now, Kicks for Kids, founded by the Lister Hill Foundation, drove more than 100 miles to help the students put their best foot forward. Look at those shoes. Haley Brink says they look at which schools need extra support and try to give them an unforgettable experience with a shoe drop. Every student walked out with a brand new pair of shoes. Brink says it all boils down to letting the kids know that they matter.
We just basically celebrate the kids and their successes and let them know that their community really cares about them. And so we just try to make it a fun day for them, and then they walk away with a brand new pair of shoes. It's just such a positive experience.
And Kicks for Kids is funded by the Lister Hill Foundation. If you'd like to learn more about how to help, you can visit listerhill.org. And everyone loves a new pair of shoes. Well, after a brief bright spot, there is once again a cloud over emergency medical care in Pickens County. In a matter of weeks, they could go from having one 24-hour ambulance serving people who live in the county to none. The manager of the Pickens County Ambulance Service, Vicki McCrory, says there was a short-term solution, a subsidy that allowed higher pay for employees, which at first allowed them to secure a full staff for 2 ambulances. But in October, a lack of funding brought them back down to only 1, which McCrory says is just not enough to serve the whole county. Now there is no more money for that subsidy. McCrory says more and more than emergency calls are affected. She says first responders and law enforcement are already doing everything they can to do outside of transport. Chief Anthony Duran with the Carrollton Police Department says his team will do everything they can to help out.
We have to either continue paying the raises, which we can't afford to do, or cut the employees back to what they were making previously. And they have all said that they will not stay if that happens. So we will have no choice but to shut the doors December the 1st.
We got 1 ambulance now. If we lose that, this place can become what you call an ambulance desert. That means that normal wait time for an ambulance is probably like 45 minutes to an hour. So we'll have to fill that void until we can get some emergency service from either from Columbus, Tuscaloosa, Fayette, or even Greene County.
And a county commissioner tells WCBI they are working diligently to make sure Pickens County has the resources it needs. We will certainly keep you posted. Well, it was a chance to visit with the men and women who keep the campus of MSU safe and those who have served the country in the military. Now, the staff at the GV Sonny Montgomery Center for America's Veterans hosted Coffee with a Cop on Friday. Officers from Starkville PD, MSU PD, and the Oktibbeha County Sheriff's Office visited with each other and MSU students and faculty over coffee, donuts, and other goodies. Brian Locke is Assistant Chief at the MSU Police Department, and he says Coffee with the Cop is a great way to continue strong, lasting relationships between the public and those who protect and serve. And it was a fun day. You see the photo there with the canine there. And I can tell you what, see, he loves that tennis ball. He's focused on the tennis ball. Well, coming up, how to be an angel for Christmas. We'll tell you next on WCBI Sunrise Saturday. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Sunrise Saturday here at the mall at Barnes Crossing. It is time for Angel Tree with me, Captain Leanna Marion, and Jeff Snyder, the mall manager. So, Captain, tell us, Angel Tree, this is a big deal. People are going to be out shopping for Christmas and stuff. They can help others too. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So the Angel Tree program started in 1979, and it has been going ever since then to help families in that small Virginia town community to get assistance for those families in need. And so that's what this does. This provides hope for Christmas for those children in our community who may not be getting any presents otherwise.
Right. Things that we take for granted. So Jeff, y'all have had a partnership, of course, with Salvation Army for many years. This is an opportunity. Y'all do a lot here at the mall to give back to the community. This is one aspect of that, isn't it?
Yeah, we're very honored to partner with the Salvation Army on this event and several. This is my favorite. And, people in North Mississippi are so wonderful and have such big hearts. And, when they make their shopping list for husband, wife, daughter, son, they also make sure so many of them have on there others. Right. And a lot of time others is at the top of the list. So the Salvation Army being here allows our customers to come here and choose an angel off the tree. We've seen great turnout and response so far. And we have every year. So this is an opportunity for our customers to stop by and put the children who are in need at the top of their shopping list and get that done, and then do their other shopping as well. But the Salvation Army and their volunteers they're so fantastic, and we're just so honored and grateful to be a part of what they do.
Absolutely. He mentioned the volunteers. Y'all couldn't do this without volunteers because it takes a lot of coordination, and you're going to talk to us about the deadlines and stuff, but you can't do this by yourself. You need the volunteers in the community to help out.
Absolutely. Me and my husband, we're a good team, but we certainly cannot do all of this work by ourselves. And so, even behind me, our Salvation Army Women's Auxiliary have been partnering and working as volunteers for the Salvation Army for over 50 years to work behind the scenes to get all of the toys processed and ready for those families in need to come and pick up those gifts.
Right. And personally about this. I remember you telling me that when you were, tell us the story, because personally how this impacts people.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up with two working class parents, and there were many years where, they had a hard time making ends meet. And so the program that the Salvation Army offered through the Angel Tree program was many years the only Christmas gifts that I received. And so without those gifts at Christmas time, there would have been no hope. And that really brought joy to me and my siblings.
Right. So it does make a big difference. And of course, Jeff, the Christmas shopping season is about to kick off. Y'all are expecting a robust season. It officially kicks off Black Friday. So what an opportunity for people to come out. Y'all are expecting good crowds, aren't you?
Yeah, very good crowds. It's a shorter holiday season, so the crowds will be...
So you have less time to do it.
Less time, a lot of hustle and bustle. But, the Angel Tree is here, and these volunteers make it very easy. You go to a store and people help you make a selection, but, based on what you want to do and how you want to contribute and help someone, these volunteers are here, and the Angel Tree is right here at Center Court. It's very convenient, and hey, don't just do one angel, do a handful.
Right.
It does a heart good, and it does a lot of children good.
Very good. And of course, we know that you have the location here at the mall. Tell us where the other locations are.
Yep, so we are also partnering with Walmart this year. So all of our Walmart locations here in Lee County will have an Angel Tree as well. And then this year, Beals is going to do an Angel Tree in their store.
Very good. Awesome. So, and we'll be out here, of course, Black Friday to see how things are going. We're going to grab an angel. We want you to grab an angel. You can help make someone's Christmas so much brighter, and, stuff that we take for granted. It's a simple act of kindness. It goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. And this year, our hard deadline to receive those gifts back is going to be December 13th. Okay. So if you come and you get an angel off the tree, first of all, snap a picture with your phone, because paper is easy to lose, and we don't want anybody losing their angels. So snap a picture with your phone just in case it gets lost. And then on the back of your angel, there is a sticker that says, please return December the 13th, because our distribution is the 16th. And we need a little bit of time to get those angels in. You don't have to wait till then.
All Santa's helpers.
All Santa's helpers. Yeah, you don't have to wait till the 13th.
You can turn it in before then.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you go to the store and you get that stuff for those angels, come back to the mall and bring it back here. Don't wait till the end, because that's going to be rolling around in the back of your car and you're going to forget it.
Don't wait till the end like I do, because I will push things to the right up to the deadline. Don't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, when you come and pick up your angel, you can shop in the mall that day and turn it right in before you leave the mall.
That's some really good advice. All right, so Captain, Jeff, thank you all so much. Get your angel off the tree somewhere, and we're going to have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
Your WCBI First Alert Forecast with Sadie Morris.
We've made it to the weekend, and we have an absolutely beautiful one in store. Bright blue sky on our live cam in Vernon right now. A few upper level clouds off there in the distance, but overall it's going to be an absolutely beautiful day. Those clouds are not bringing any rain. It's going to be nice and dry for your weekend. We're starting off pretty mild though. Some of us even still a little cool this morning. Maybe need an extra layer as you're heading out the door this morning. Corinth is 43, 45 in Iuka, but in the 50s here in the Golden Triangle, 51 in Columbus, 55 in Starkville, 53 in Macon. So in those lower 50s, and some of us still in those 40s, more towards our northern viewing areas. But overall, we're going to warm up today. And the good news is we aren't going to be very humid. We started off today really early this morning with some fog, but luckily that's cleared now. And we actually have a very refreshing day in store. By tomorrow, we have a little bit of noticeable humidity for your Sunday. We'll also see some clouds built into the picture. So not as sunshine and bright for your Sunday, but for your Saturday, It's going to be absolutely beautiful. We have a high today of 70, so nice and mild. Definitely not too warm or sweltering hot, but also not too cool as well. So it's going to be very nice. That low humidity is in store, and it will be a bit chilly after sunset tonight. We do expect to be in the mid 40s, so keep that in mind if you're out and about after sunset this evening, maybe getting some dinner. You'll need an extra layer. But it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day to get outside. If you don't have any outdoor plans, you should definitely make some. It's going to be very nice. It's going to be sunny and mild by 10 a.m. Around 58 is going to be what it is this morning, but we'll get up into the 60s by the lunch hour. 64, very comfortable for your noon hour, and by 4 p.m. it's going to be clear and nice up to our high of 70 degrees there by this evening. But sunset's around 4:50, so keep that in mind if you are taking the dog for a walk. Make sure you do realize that after sunset it's going to be nice and cool. 45 degrees is our low tonight, so it's going to be a bit chilly. We still have clear and dry conditions overnight. It's Monday though, evening into Tuesday, that we start to bring in our next rain chance. So we stay dry for the weekend. Monday evening is when we start to bring in our next rain chance. Tuesday is that main day for rain, and it'll start to clear out again by Wednesday, leaving us with a nice end to our week. So for your Saturday and Sunday, it stays nice and clear. It's that cold front out to our west over Oklahoma, making its way to us, bringing that next front by Tuesday. Temperatures are going to drop after that into the upper 50s by the end of the week.
All right, friends, welcome back to Sunrise Saturday. Of course, we're right around the corner from Thanksgiving. We're standing here in the parking lot of Harrisburg Baptist Church. With me, Dr. Clay Anthony, missions pastor. Y'all have a big food distribution coming up. Tell us about it.
Yes, the 23rd, beginning at 10 a.m. right here in our church parking lot. We're going to have 500 food boxes. Free. All you need to do is to bring driver's license, utility proof of the fact that you live in North Mississippi. This is just a North Mississippi thing. Right. It's all free. We would love to have you here. Again, 10 o'clock is where we're going to begin. People will be lining up early, I know, but we're going to start at 10 and we're going to run until the food runs out. It'll probably be around noon or so.
Very good. So, a week from today, the 23rd.
Yes.
And folks don't need to do anything beforehand.
No.
Right? Just come here to Harrisburg, and you don't want to get in line too early for traffic issues, but you do want to get here early, right?
Yes, please get here. If I were you, I'd try to get here around 8 a.m. or so.
Okay.
That's when the truck is going to get here. We'll take our time to unload and sort the packages. But as soon as that's done, 10 o'clock, we're going to open up the line and let you guys come through. It's just a chance for us to love you, to serve you, especially heading into the Thanksgiving week. We know that there are many people that just they love their family, they love their family gatherings, and everyone could use a little extra help this time of year feeding our loved ones. So please make your way to Harrisburg Saturday the 23rd, 10 a.m. We would love to host you.
And tell us about the work that goes into this. Y'all partner up with a lot of folks to do this. It takes a lot of work, a lot of partnerships to do this, right?
Yeah, the food is actually coming from the Mid-South Food Bank in Memphis, Tennessee. They've been excellent partners of ours. They do a great job of supplying what we need so that we can pass it on to our people. We try to reach our area and our neighbors here in the Tupelo area at least 3 times a year, once a quarter. And again, this is just the one we do right before Thanksgiving to be a blessing and to share not just food, but share the love of Christ with our neighbors, to let you know that the people of Harrisburg love you. We're going to probably have 50 to 75 of our church members here in the parking lot, greeting you, welcoming you, see if there's anything that we can pray with you over. Again, just to brighten your day and to give you a good kickoff to the Thanksgiving week.
Like you said, this is also a way to meet the physical needs, but you also talk to people. You get to share Jesus with them, and you're doing the way Jesus did, right? It's not complicated.
No, not complicated at all. Just to love your neighbor, and if there's a physical need, we want to be at the tip of the spear in meeting that physical need. But more importantly, that we do want everybody that comes into contact with us to realize, again, Harrisburg loves you. With the love of the gospel, with the love of Jesus, and that's the main reason we're doing this. And if we can feed you and your family and fill your stomach up, that's great, but we also want to fill your heart up with the love of Christ. That's the main thing we're trying to do.
That's the most important thing. And these food boxes, they're really, really nice.
Yes, so they'll be well worth your time. They'll, a good 2 feet in diameter. So you'll make away with a good couple of meals out of that. And again, just come along, come join us. We would love to have you here on the 23rd.
Right, and like you said, we're entering the Thanksgiving and Christmas season. We need to be sharing Jesus, showing and telling people Jesus all through the year, but what an opportunity to do it, especially we know things have been tough this year.
Things are tough. Things are tough. And again, this is a free opportunity. There's no financial commitment for you. This is something we just love to do for our neighbors. And there's no reason for you to stay there where you're at. And if you have this need, please allow us the privilege to help you. That's the only requirement we have, is just that you will allow us to love you this time of year. And again, just make much of Jesus, because we've got so much to be thankful for. And this is a small, very small way for our church here at Harrisburg to help and to love on our neighbors.
Right, and you get to see a lot of the reaction from the folks. That's got to be really
everyone. I've not come across a person yet that has come and visited us that is not just overwhelmingly thankful and grateful. And we get to hear some great, wonderful stories, whether it be a mom and dad who just need a little help, maybe a senior citizen, a grandmother that's got some kids that are home she's trying to help raise. And so your story, wherever you're at, your story is not unique to you. Again, it's just an opportunity for us to help you in this journey, and that's why we exist. We want to love our neighbors.
Awesome, very good. So
absolutely.
A week from today, the 23rd, and get here about 8 o'clock.
I would
starts at 10.
Definitely. I would be here if 8 o'clock, if not sooner. There will be a line for sure.
And there'll be folks helping direct the traffic.
We have traffic.
CPD is out here helping
Tupelo Police Department, we met with them yesterday. They're going to be here to help us with their traffic situation. We'll have porta potties. There may be even some free sausages and biscuits involved. So just, again, come along. It's going to be a great event, a great moment for us to love on you and to love on your family. That's what we want to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. If you know of someone who needs that assistance, or if you need it, be here at Harrisburg Baptist Church parking lot on the 23rd. Get here around 8. It starts at 10 o'clock. And remember, this season we need to be sharing Jesus, not just at Christmas time, but all year round. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Clay Anthony. We're going to have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
We have a very mild weekend in store. Right now we're in the 50s. We'll be up into the mid 60s by this afternoon, but then we'll get up to around 70 today for our high. We'll stay in the 70s until a cold front pushes through Tuesday with that next rain chance, actually dropping our temperatures to be pretty seasonal there in the 60s for your Wednesday, even in the upper 50s by the later part of your week. So
yeah,
definitely
that's good.
Drop and becoming more seasonal, which is nice. And then if you take a look at the overnight lows as well, keep in mind you're definitely going to need some jackets with that back into the 40s, even the upper 30s. So
wow, 41 and
chilly.
38. So it is starting to feel like fall. You think we might have another bump in temperatures because, we get used to it, but we're getting that time of year where it may just
This is actually more seasonal, yeah, and I think it should hopefully, crossing our fingers, right, stay this way. Our average low around this time of year is 44, so it's pretty on track. I mean,
very good. Yeah. All right. Well, don't go anywhere. We have more Sunrise Saturday on the other side of the break. We have some good economic news from around the state. We'll have that story coming straight ahead.
Your WCBI First Alert Forecast with Sadie Morris.
Well, thanks for sticking with us on your Saturday. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful weekend in store. Here's a live look outside of Mississippi State. No football game this weekend at home, but an absolutely gorgeous day ahead. Really barely any clouds in the sky, and that's going to continue to be the case over the next few hours. We're absolutely dry really across the entire southeastern region. We have a cold front off towards Texas, more towards Oklahoma as well, and that cold front's going to make its way to us, becoming our next rainmaker over the next few days by Monday night into Tuesday. But for now, we have a very sunny and clear weekend. It's going to be very comfortable, low humidity as well, but those cooler temperatures are ahead associated with that upcoming cold front. So keep that in mind. It's going to be very mild though for your weekend. High today for your Saturday is 70. A little bit of a breeze out of the southeast, but overall it's going to be a very calm day. Plenty of sunshine, great day to get outside. We'll be in the 50s by 10 a.m. in the lower 60s by the lunch hour. If you're getting outside, might need an extra layer, a little bit of a light jacket, but overall it's going to be pretty nice. By 2 p.m. p.m. around 68 degrees, and then we hit our high around 4 p.m. today, 70 degrees, and then the sunset around 4:50 drops those temperatures really quickly for us. By 6 p.m. already in the 60s again, and then by 8 p.m. in the 50s. Our overnight low, though, is around 45, so keep that in mind as you're waking up tomorrow. For your Sunday, it's also going to be very nice. We build in some clouds, high of 73. By Monday, we still are pretty nice, 76, but by Tuesday, that is our next big rain chance, dropping the temperature slightly, 74 degrees for your Tuesday. We've made it to the weekend and we have a beautiful one in store. Bright blue sky right now on the Columbus live cam. Bunch of sunshine against the buildings right now over the station. Absolutely beautiful view there on our Bill Russell Ford live cam. And right now we are still pretty mild. You might want an extra layer as you're heading out the door today. If you are getting any lunch, we're still in the 50s, 51 in Columbus, 50 in Tupelo, and really around the entire region. Meridian though, 59. For most of us though, we're in the 50s. Here's the good news though. We aren't very humid today and really for your Sunday either. We'll have a little bit of noticeable humidity for your Sunday, but for your Saturday, it's going to be very comfortable, very refreshing as well, which means it is a great time to get outside and walk the dog. Plenty of sunshine for your Saturday. By 10 a.m., we do expect to be around 58 degrees. Very comfortable by the lunch hour there around noon, 64 degrees. And then we have our high of 70 today, clear and nice by 4 p.m. But keep in mind, sunsets at 4:50, so those temperatures are going to drop off very quickly after sunset. Our average high around this time of year is 67, so we're still going to be above average for a good portion to start off our week, but by Wednesday we have a cold front pushing through, and that is going to drop our temperatures actually below our average, so it's something we haven't seen in quite a while. For your Saturday, we expect that high of 70, 73 tomorrow, slightly warmer to start off your week there, 76 for your Monday, but notice when that cold front drops through by Wednesday, 64, and then in the upper 50s for your Thursday and Friday. Now tonight is also going to be chilly, something to keep in mind if you're out after sunset. We have a low overnight around 45 degrees, so it's going to be cooler, still nice and dry and clear though, which is the good news. For Saturday and Sunday, we don't have any rain chances. Monday evening, really overnight, is when we start to expect some rain chances to build in, and then that cold front pushes through on Tuesday. Pretty good chance of rain, around 70%, and then by Wednesday, we have a few lingering clouds that could produce just a few sprinkles, bit of rain lingering Wednesday morning, but by Thursday and Friday, we clear out if you have any plans for maybe your Friday night. Here's to take a look here, track this out, what we expect for our next rainmaker. We're nice and dry for your Saturday, barely any clouds at all for really the entire weekend. Sunday, we start to build in some clouds. Don't expect any rain for your Sunday though. I know some green starts to pop up here, but mostly just cloud cover for your Sunday and for your Monday. Now, Monday evening is when we start to see some of those clouds really build in, as well as some of the rain. Now, that low pressure system off in Oklahoma associated with that cold front, it's going to bring a line of showers to us by Tuesday, which is why that's when we have our next front dropping those temperatures by the end of next week.
All right, thank you, Sadie. Well, we've shown you groundbreakings and press conferences about major economic development projects all around the state. Now, state officials are explaining that it takes an awful lot of work before those announcements can happen. Courtney Ann Jackson has more.
But all this stuff ain't all that sexy. It's water, it's sewer, it's core infrastructure. It's the things that government is supposed to do, but it gets us ready for that next major project, and it helps with our speed to market arguments.
Governor Tate Reeves is touting a lengthy economic development list with an even bigger price tag to get more counties shovel-ready sites. The funding is coming through a combination of state and federal grants. It's what's made a difference in making the Magnolia State more competitive in recent years, according to the Mississippi Development Authority.
We're the ones to beat right now in terms of development of sites. We have approximately 30 sites that we're curating right now through the Site Development Grant Program. The governor's asked us to make sure we have about 30 sites that are geographically distributed throughout the state.
But what does the timeline look like to lay that groundwork and get a new industry up and running?
Just say that's a hell of a lot longer than I wanted to take, okay?
You know, I think the important thing to take away with all of these investments is that if we don't plant that acorn seed, the tree can't grow. And to prolong these investments simply allows us to miss the opportunity. No company is going to come to a location if you tell them it's going to take 18 months to figure out whether we can get you power.
Reeves points to the Madison County mega site that's currently full as an example of the difference it makes when the infrastructure is in place.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Welcome into sports. We will start with the game of the week between Knoxville County and Jefferson Davis County.
WCBI's high school football game of the week is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota in Columbus.
Looking at this 2024 Toyota Prius, it got me to the game in style, and let me tell you, you definitely have to watch your speed with this thing. It cranks some horsepower, and it cranks the volume in the car. Make sure to get yours at Carl Hogan Toyota today. Now moving on to the game in Noxubee County and Jefferson Davis County, a nice 3A playoff game here. Starting in the second, 4th and goal, the Jaguars are stuffed by the Tiger defense. They get a stop. It remains 0-0. In comes Kamario Taylor, the 4-star Mississippi State commit. He's going to hand the ball off to Ladarian Mosley, and he does the rest. Up the gut, in for the touchdown. They open the scoring up. It'd be 6-0 as the Tigers would miss the extra point. Teddy Young, not too happy with the execution, but happy with the lead. Kamario Taylor here. He's going to break 1, 2 tackles, 3 tackles. How about 4? Nice spin move, get the joystick going. His future head coach sure must be happy. Jaguars looking to respond. They get a nice run up the middle, but not enough offense tonight, last night. Noxubee County would lose or beat Jefferson Davis County 31-6. Looking at some more scores here, Germantown beating Oxford 43-34. Starkville 44 over Horn Lake, 44-14 over Horn Lake. Grenada blanking Callaway 35-0. Cleveland Central losing to Pontotoc 31-13. West Point dominant win 41-0 over Yahoo City. Aberdeen beats Independence 44-28. East Webster getting a win over Humphreys County 34-16. Lumberton blanking Nanawoya 27-0. Baldwin fairly beating Faulkner pretty easily 49-13. Myrtle 49-22 over Biggersville. A lot of scoring in these games. West Lowndes 40, Strayhorn 14. They get a nice little road win there. How about some Alabama action? Fife over Gordo 42-14, ending Gordo's 10-1 season. Solgent over Southeastern 38-24. That is all we have for sports, so we will be right back.
Well, we have a really nice next few days in the 70s, lows overnight in those 40s to lower 50s, but by the time that cold front pushes through by Tuesday, bringing some rain chances, possibly some storms as well, we can see the temperatures are really going to drop off into the 60s, even the 50s there, so cooling off.
Wow, absolutely. I mean, and even the daytime temperatures, you know, in the last couple of weeks, we saw some temperatures up in the 80s and even the high 80s, but it looks like, and which is good because we're training for the half marathon coming up in a few weeks in Memphis. So I'm ready for some cooler weather to run in because I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm out running and it's hot, I just get mad. And
extra sweat.
Right. And then, well, I mean, that's good. But my wife says, you know, go and do something else but that's a whole other thing. Well, good. Well, finally, they taste great and they're good for you. And you can make a lot of great dishes from sweet potatoes. Look at all of those sweets right there. My lovely wife and I were judges at the Sweet Potato Recipe Contest at the Vardaman Sweet Potato Festival. So you had some kids even entering there. I know, right? And they were good. There were categories for cakes, low-cal pies, and as we said, a kids division. See, and it's a tough job, but somebody had to taste
it looks
and
good.
Be a judge. It was really good. In fact, the Mayor's Award winner was Jake Sims with his Sweet Potato Crunch. He took first place in his division, the kids division, and there were so many great recipes, and it was such a fun event for the town of Vardaman. And speaking of food, I'm going to give you all a little tease of what's coming next week. Y'all ready to hear about it? Okay. Now, we're going to have a guest in studio next week. You know, Thanksgiving is coming up right around the corner. People like to have Thanksgiving lunches and dinners, and you eat all the time around Thanksgiving. Mr. Mac Pettit with Kingfisher Lodge. He's going to be in the studio with some really neat, I don't want to give it away, but some really neat Thanksgiving meal ideas. Maybe some brisket, maybe some turkey.
It's making me hungry thinking about it.
But he'll be in the studio.
I can't wait.
So have some appetite when you come next Saturday. And thank you all for spending part of your Saturday with us. We will see you next week. Have a blessed one.